Hey, what is up, people? This is Johnny, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips of Pokemon Go that could actually help you on your adventure while you're playing Pokemon Go. The first tip that I'm going to be giving you is that when you first start off playing Pokemon Go, make sure to look at a couple of videos on how people throw the Pokeball. The reason why you want to know how to throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon initially is because you are going to lose a lot of Pokeballs in the beginning because the game doesn't actually give you a tutorial to throw Pokeballs. And you want to go ahead and conserve them because the Pokeballs are actually kind of very little in amount. Well, they give you a lot of Pokeballs when you start off, but you want to go ahead and try to conserve them a lot. Why? Because then later on in the game, you're probably going to end up paying for Pokeballs if you don't end up conserving them. And then you will probably have to go to Pokestops in order to get more Pokeballs and stuff like that. In order to level up faster in Pokemon Go, I recommend that you go to different locations where you find new Pokemon. Every time you find a new Pokemon, you will probably get roughly a 600 experience points or more. And this will help you level up your character's levels to make it to level 5. So I recommend capturing new Pokemon that you can encounter as possible if you have time. Try to encounter all the new Pokemon. Click on them as fast as you can to encounter new Pokemon. I also recommend recapturing older Pokemon because they give you an easily points of 100 experience points. So if you're good at capturing regular Pokemon, you might as well capture them in order to gain experience points while you go to different areas. So this will help you level up faster, and not only will it get you in no time to level up to battle the gym. The next tip that I recommend is to go to a location where different things are located. For example, if you go to a certain area, there may be a bunch of places that will have Pokestops, and they will also have gyms so you can go. And there will also be a lot of Pokemon that you can encounter nearby. I recommend going in the car to different places. Most times in the park area, you will find different Pokemon all around it simply because that's a park, and that will have the advantage of you capturing different Pokemon. So I recommend every time you're using the GPS, if you're in the car, cruise around and go to an area where there will be a lot of Pokestops and you see a lot of signs of Pokemon there. That usually means that you will get a bunch of perks when you go to these stops. And I recommend going in the car, personally finding these areas. But if you're in a park, just walk around the park and you'll probably find a lot of things. Now, if you're going in the car, I do recommend you to be careful. Be the passenger and have like your dad or mom or somebody else, a friend, driving the car while you're doing this, because that will definitely reduce the risk of you while Pokemon going and driving, because that could be dangerous. It's a really distracting thing if you're in Pokemon Go and you're driving at the same time. The next tip that I'm going to be giving you that is actually essential for your Pokemon to get stronger is that don't ever level up the first Pokemon that you get. For example, if you get your starter. The thing is that you want to collect as many Stardust that you can, because this will help you level up your Pokemon that will become stronger later on. Now, I understand that you may actually want a Charmander, but you're going to be able to encounter more Charmanders in the wild. Try to capture more Charmanders. They're kind of rare to encounter, but eventually you will encounter them randomly. So if you encounter a Charmander, you want to get more Charmander candy for it to evolve, I recommend that you get all the Charmander candies first before you actually evolve it, because it's going to be kind of weak, and I think it will be stronger when you evolve it into a Charmeleon. So make sure to get all the Stardust you can, and then once you get like different Charmanders, there could be one that has a higher CP, which will have a higher CP than the one that you currently have. So you're going to want to go ahead and evolve the one with the highest CP that you capture in the nature, because if you capture a really high Pokemon with a CP, then you can keep upgrading it, and evolve it to its final evolution. And there you will have a stronger overall Pokemon that you won't have to worry about. So I recommend upgrading the Pokemon with the higher CP, especially for Charmanders, because if you capture higher CP Charmanders, you will get a better advantage, as well as having that Pokemon level up faster and have more stronger abilities. I recommend doing this, in my opinion, because this will help you evolve them with a much stronger stats, and that's what I think about that. The final thing that I'm going to be talking about is my personal view on the gyms. Now, the gyms are actually quite easy depending on the person that put the Pokemon there. Right now, you have the ability to get a really strong Pokemon and go to a gym and battle it. Not everyone has gotten a really strong Pokemon at these gyms that you can, so that means that you can actually beat these gyms easily if you get a higher level Pokemon. For example, in my area, since the game just came out, there's only some Pokemon that are pretty weak, like Eradicate, that probably have a CP of 136 or who knows, around there. And I have a Pinsir that is already at a 226, I believe, a CP. So I'll have the advantage to beat these gyms. But what you have to make sure is that you have to be prepared and know the weakness of the Pokemon in order before you actually battle that gym. I recommend that you have a really strong Pokemon with a CP, probably updated Stardust if it's a Pokemon that you're going to evolve. So make sure to be careful with that, and then you'll be able to battle these gyms, and then probably leave a Pokemon there to transfer after you beat the gym, and leave that gym pretty strong with a strong Pokemon that will make it difficult for other players to actually go and defeat your gym. So that's the final tip that I recommend. And let me know in the comment section what tips you recommend for Pokemon Go. I'm still learning stuff through the game, but these are the tips that I personally found out that are really useful for me.